What is up, Janksters? It's your boy Graham, also known as HamHawks42 on the internet, and today I want to talk about a combo that harkens back to my kitchen table jank days. That is something that you could potentially pull off in Commander to deliver a death blow to your opponent in a really fun, weird way. Now, I say Commander specifically because it requires 3 cards to execute correctly, and there is some inherent risk involved as you set it up, and I'll explain why. So this is definitely for a casual game. That said, all the necessary pieces are legal in Modern. So I just want to say, if you can create a Modern deck that is capable of pulling this off, oh, you rock. And I want to see the list post haste. Please leave that in the comment section below. But okay, so the combo is an instant kill on one of your opponents. Now, in a Commander game, that can feel pretty bad if you just like pick off one person and knock them out. But if there's a clear arch enemy at the table, being able to take them out in a cool, janky fashion can make you the hero in a pretty cool way. So that said, let's get into the combo and talk about it. It revolves around Phage the Untouchable. If you're not familiar with Phage, she's a very weird card, frankly. And I don't know, she's just awesome. I love this card. So she's a 4/4 for 7, 4 of which is black. When Phage the Untouchable enters the battlefield, if you didn't cast it from your hand, you lose the game. So that is to say, if you cheat Phage in any way, you just lose. That's important because the next line is going to make it pretty clear that she would have been a premium reanimator target if it wasn't for that line. Whenever Phage deals combat damage to a creature, destroy that creature. It can't be regenerated. Okay, it's not cool. That's not the one I was referring to. The next one. Whenever Phage deals combat damage to a player, that player loses the game. Now, I know what you're thinking. This combo is probably related to somehow getting through in combat damage, giving her unblockable. Those are all options. You can do that. But we're going a little bit jankier with it. And the card that we're going to use to do that is Summoner's Egg. Summoner's Egg is a 0/4 artifact for 4 with imprint. This was a mechanic from the original Mirrodin block that there aren't too many imprint cards out there, but the ones that are out there can do some pretty cool things. This one, whenever Summoner's Egg enters, or whenever it comes into play, old school wording, you may remove a card in your hand from the game face down. So no one else gets to know what it is. That card is just exiled face down. For the purposes of this combo, that card that we need to imprint onto Summoner's Egg is Phage. All right, go with me here. And then when Summoner's Egg is put into a graveyard from play, when it dies, turn the imprinted face down card face up. If that card is a creature card, put it into play under your control. So here's what would happen. If you imprint Phage onto a Summoner's Egg and the Summoner's Egg dies under your control, you lose the game. It's that simple, because Phage enters the battlefield when the Summoner's Egg dies, and that first ability triggers, you lose the game. It's that simple. But the Summoner's Egg is not going to die under your control. And the way we're going to do that is there are a number of different effects that we can use to give the Summoner's Egg to our opponent before it dies. And one of the ways we can do that is Harmless Offering. This is a great card from Eldritch Moon. Target opponent gains control of target permanent you control. Literally just take one of your things and give it to your opponent. If we hand that Summoner's Egg over to your opponent, there you go. You got it. Boom. Take it. Do with it what you will, and in this case, lose the game. The other way that I did back in the day was a really fun card, frankly, that has seen some reprints in Commander products, called Chrome Shell Crab. This is a morph creature. If you want more information on morph and how it works, there's going to be a card actually appearing directly above me here in a second. Definitely give that a look. It's a breakdown of just how morph works. But with Chrome Shell Crab, when the morph trigger fires, when it's turned face up, you may exchange control of target creature you control and target creature an opponent controls. So this is especially nice, and you can do it for 5 mana. You can flip it up for 5 mana. Because you can give them the Summoner's Egg and you take their best thing. So not only are you giving them a ticking time bomb that is just waiting to get popped and destroy them, but you also are getting their best creature, and for as long as they remain in the game, which is not going to be very long, of course. The only thing that we need to do then is destroy Summoner's Egg. Once we have used Chrome Shell Crab or Harmless Offering, or even cards like Switcheroo or Thieves, the Trickster God's Heist from Kaldheim, there are a lot of cards out there that allow you to exchange control of stuff, and that's all we need. It can be any one of these, and you can have any number of them in your deck in order to make this more consistent. But once the Summoner's Egg is on the opponent's side of the board, we just need to destroy it. That's it. It can be an artifact removal. It can be You can use artifact removal, you can use creature removal. If your opponent doesn't know what you're up to, you can even just attack into them with potentially the creature you stole from them. Because if they block with it in combat, it dies, it's gonna flip face up, the thing's gonna trigger. So there are a lot of ways you can do that. And that can be like any spell that can destroy an artifact or a creature. Like any spell that can destroy an artifact creature can get this out. So it works great. You can be Shatter, it could be Vandal Blast, it could be you know, Infernal Grasp, it could be, you know, it could be Doomblade even, like you name it. It's pretty cool. And then once that pops, Phage enters onto the battlefield, first ability triggers, boom, game. In a 1v1 context, game's over, you win. In a multiplayer context, that player has been eliminated. And like I said, if they're the arch enemy at the table, you did something cool, your buddies go, dude, and then, you know, the game continues with the other two people at the table. And of course, presumably you have some more tricks up your sleeve to help win that game, because a commander deck could include this combo, but I would not recommend building the deck around this combo because it's not necessarily consistent. However, if you have a deck that could get other value out of Phage and potentially give it unblockable and use those kind of things, or could you get value out of Summoner's Egg by cheating in other big things, and then, you know, have a little bit of switcheroo trickery action in there too, you can get there, and you can have the option, you can pull it off in 1 out of 10 games or something like that, and it would be really sweet when it fires. So that's the combo. It's this weird janky thing that I just absolutely adore from back in the day. Let me know if you've ever pulled this off, or if you have a deck where you think this might fit. I would love to hear more about that. Please let me know in the comments below, and while you're down there, if you wouldn't mind hitting that like and subscribe, it makes a huge difference to the channel. I'd appreciate it very, very much. So thank you so much, and I'll catch you on the next one.